It's Tuesday, May 7th, 2013. I'm Alex Jones. Get ready for another original edition of Infowars Nightly News. Straight ahead.
Tonight, danger. Google tells internet users that the Drudge Report and Infowars.com websites contain malicious software. I don't think so. Plus, more information has emerged about Google's relationship with the government and spook agencies, as a group calls for hearings into Google's ties to the CIA and NSA. And Professor Griff says Obama is a mass media deception. The Infowars exclusive interview premieres tonight on the Infowars Nightly News.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and I want to thank again all the subscribers and viewers that make Infowars Nightly News possible via prisonplanet.tv as we fight the globalist plan to construct a prison planet on the ashes of our once free republic and world. Again, thank you for joining us. After the extensive news and analysis segment tonight, we're going to premiere here a hour-plus long interview with Professor Griff, the information officer of Public Enemy that just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What we tend to do is when I'm making a new film or making an Obama Deception Part 2, is we go and do hour, 2-hour long interviews, and then like 5 minutes of what Griff talks about will probably end up in the film or less. But we like to then air the full, basically unedited interview here for you tonight. And we've got some more of these big interviews with not just Professor Griff, but other equally informative and interesting people. And this is in high def, and this is powerful. And this will reach out to a lot of people, and he lays it all out. He basically declares war on the Illuminati and calls for humanity to come together against this dehumanizing tyranny. So that is coming up tonight, and it is powerful. In fact, I always underpromise and overdeliver, which isn't good in media. We're constantly covering bombshell breaking stuff, and we don't even really build it up. It's like, oh, yeah, we went to California 2 weeks ago, got this interview, John Bound and Rob Jacobson. We've got a bunch of other interviews, too, with him. Went to protests with him. It was pretty wild. But I haven't even told viewers and radio listeners this was coming up. And this has been edited since last Friday. Again, edited, cutting out people taking breaks and things like that, or phones ringing. And so just here it is tonight. So that's coming up after we cover the extensive news that we've got here for you. Now, first off, when Infowars.com and prisonplanet.com and the radio show and the films are under sustained attack, we have to cover it. It is my mission to be gonzo journalists where we write ourselves into the story. But time and time again, it just happens. And we try to hand out magazines in downtown Austin. They say, we'll arrest you if you do. You have no more First Amendment. Things like that. Now, there are many different forms of censorship going on, and Google is trying to set up a worldwide web monopoly. Even if you follow their rules, they try to block you on YouTube and other platforms if you are successfully criticizing the global corporatocracy that's being set up. Well, it turns out this is the third time they've done this to DrudgeReport.com, and the second time we know that they've done this to us. But Chrome users, and we've confirmed it, of Google Chrome browser are being told that Drudge and Infowars have malware. Well, we scanned our systems. We do not have this. It is not going on. It is a lie. And if you scroll down in the article, we have a link to CNET News in 2010. We also scanned Drudge Report. They're not linked to this. And it turns out that Google has systems embedded in ad software on news sites that Drudge is simply linking to, and that Google is saying, don't go to Drudge because of Google. You cannot make this up. It's like saying we have to give our rights up because al-Qaeda attacked us, but then the Western governments are funding al-Qaeda then and now to take over countries like Libya and Syria. It's like we have a drug war, But they've had the CIA Inspector General admit in 1997 that the CIA ships in most of the drugs and major banks launder the money. And major U.S. banks give the guns to the Mexican drug cartels. Source on that, Bloomberg. And own the aircraft that flies the cocaine and heroin in and out. But cops want to search my car at Texas checkpoints I've run into, and they ask me if I've got any drugs. No, I don't use your damn products. Okay, so this is the type of craziness that we're talking about here. And coming from Google, saying that we're involved in malware, which is basically hacking somebody's computer to either steal data or put data on there. And they say, don't go to Infowars because they may try to steal your identity, it says this, or financial loss or permanent file deletion. I mean, I'm really thinking about suing Google, and I'm not a litigious person because it's a big hassle, but I mean, something's got to give. We're not doing this. We're on record not doing this. And this is the third time they've done it to Drudge. The second time, they've had the White House come out and go, don't visit his site. They've had Congress come out, Democratic senators. He'll put stuff on your computer with no evidence. And it turned out that was a lie. They don't want you visiting our sites because we're some of the only opposition showing what they're doing. I reported several years ago that it was in the General Motors government bailout plan to give $21 billion of taxpayer money to move General Motors to Brazil, China, and Eastern Europe. Volt, Cadillac, you name it. It's just now in the Wall Street Journal today. We're going to cover that. Guess who linked to our article about that several years ago? Drudge. That's why they don't like us. Hey, look, this White House plan with General Motors says they have to agree to ship their main factories overseas. We paid with taxpayer money to ship our factories. Just like we're paying with taxpayer money to force the shutdown of coal power plants in this country. This is the designed shutdown. How do they conquer America? They do this, and Drudge covers that. And look, I don't get up here every day and talk about Drudge every day. It's just our destinies are more and more entwined because there's nobody else. WorldNet Daily, Newsmax, there's not many others that are willing to go toe-to-toe. And the truth is the globalists are such criminal liars, if you just challenge them, if you stand up to them, it's the mouse that roared. But so many times in history, people give into the uniforms, they give into the fake authority, they give into the government arrogance and bravada, the chutzpah, and nightmares happen. Free people are uppity. Free people are jealous of their liberty. Free people are aggressive. Slaves submit. And if you're slaves, you're not free. And you're like, that's really simple. We know that. Really? Do the American people know that? So I thought here today we would go over some of the mainstream news reporting on Google because they're trying to say, don't go to this site. They're associated with some URL that we're not. And then it turns out that URL is associated with Google. They're framing us for what they do. I thought I would go over some of these articles. Here they are. Drudge Report accused of serving malware again, CNET News. And it goes on to report and admit, and it shows the screenshot. Attention, danger, don't go there. Infowars.com too. And they have to admit in the article it's total crap. Okay, there you go. Did Google get off easy with $7 million Wi-Fi settlement? All over the world, they drive around, not just with a camera, but with systems designed to break into your computer, go past your passcode. Google, it's come out, even if you disable their cookies, they re-enable them, and they do keystroke loggers to get your passcode. That is felony hacking, breaking and entering, and they do it from France to Germany, to Russia, to the United States, and then they've got the nerve to tell people to not go to Infowars.com. That is an Imperial probe droid. Let's put that back up on screen. That's what smart meters are on your house. That is an Imperial probe droid directly out of Star Wars, and I, for one, have had enough of it, man. Where's Chewbacca when you need him? What do I have to hide? I got a lot to hide. My privacy from you criminals. I saw some statistic where 90-something% of identity theft is corporations, big corporations and government leaking data. Yeah, you read about Bank of America, 9 million Social Security numbers given out. Nobody's getting them in trouble, but they're just lying, saying, you know what, don't go to Alex's side. He'll get you. Don't use Google, use StartPage. And I'm really going to, StartPage wants to work with me. I've been too busy to even work with them in a PR campaign to help them. Get me Catherine Albert. Get me StartPage, guys. They flew here from the Netherlands to meet with me, those scientists, those tech guys. I want to just all in with StartPage. They are the best alternative engine. I have had it with Google. And it's hard not to work with them. We've had 3 different, or is it the 4th now, different companies that we get to run our ad software. That's complex stuff. They always buy it. They're buying everything up. Where it's so hard not to work with Google. You're like, well, why are you on YouTube? I was on YouTube before they bought it. They advertise it's a public commons. Like, I can come here and I can do this, and they make money off of me. I don't even monetize it because I hate them so much on our YouTube channels. And people say, well, you don't like it, leave it. They're taking the web over. It'd be like if somebody bought the county square and said, you can't get up on your soapbox. Okay, I followed their trade rules. It's false advertising what they're doing. I mean, it's criminal saying that I'm going to steal your identity when it's a damn lie, and they're the ones famous for it. Let's continue. Did Google get off easy with 7 million Wi-Fi settlement? Look at this. Let's go to another one. There's hundreds of these. Forbes, court rules NSA doesn't have to reveal its semi-secret relationship with Google. There's no semi-secret relationship. They are NSA in QTEL. We got a clip, by the way, with former CIA agent Steele coming up. Here's another one. Group calls for hearings into Google's CIA and NSA ties. Boom. Here's another one. Ex-agent CIA seed money helped launch Google. We were the first to break that in December of 2006. And that was with Robert David Steele, 20-year Marine Corps infantry and intelligence officer and former clandestine services case officer with the Central Intelligence Agency. And by the way, he got heavily threatened when he came on. He's never been on since. It's time to get him on. He was the first to talk about this. This has all been declassified now. Why? By the way, when we had him on, do you know what Google did on Infowars and Prison Planet? Do you know what happened the week after he came on? They delisted us from Google news feeds when I had him on. Folks, they aren't connected. They are the shadow government. You know what is above? The real shadow government is NASA. NASA is just the corporate shell. Over 90% of NASA is actually secret. It's Northcom, it's Space Command at Cheyenne Mountain, Mount Weather, other Site R. See, we've studied the shadow government. That's why they don't like us. This is not our government, by the way. It's here to make sure the republic ends. It's doing everything it can to shut our oil off, to shut our coal plants off, to shut our factories down. It's run by foreign banks, and they're going to shut us down just like they've done other wealthy countries. There was an old saying, riches in Argentina. And they took that country and bankrupted it to one of the poorest in Latin America. They've done it to once wealthy countries in Europe, like Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic. They will do it to anybody. They want you poor as a tool of control. Let's go ahead and go to that clip with former CIA operative Steele.
First off, I think Google took money from the CIA when it was poor and it was starting up. And unfortunately, our system right now floods money into spying and other illegal and largely unethical activities, and it doesn't fund what I call the open source world, which is both intelligence and software. Right now, I would say it's a small but significant relationship. However, I think it's also very, very wrong of Google to have this relationship.
Well, what do you think about them censoring videos and erasing my hit counts and things like that?
Well, I think they're not only censoring videos, they're censoring press releases. I think that I've seen some press releases that are very critical of Dick Cheney and others that somehow don't make it to Google News, even though they're released by PR Newswire.
We're exactly, which is a normal affiliate.
I think Google is long overdue for a public audit. And one of the problems with privatized power is that it's not subject to public audit. I believe that there is a marketplace for a handheld and a laptop that allows the end user to completely control all outgoing emissions. And I believe there's a desperate need for a citizen activist skunk works that can thoroughly scrub stuff. And I absolutely believe that we should put Google out of business unless they're willing to go the open source software route.
So do you think all that coverage our interview got concerning their involvement with the CIA, do you think that concerned them?
It concerned them enough to lie to the public. They denied it.
But you have sources in the CIA that are involved.
Let me say very explicitly, their contact at CIA is named Dr. Rick Steinheiser. He's in the Office of Research and Development.
Yes, these men and their hypnotized followers call this a new order. It is not new, and it is not order.
This is the reality. And they just think you're unconscious and stupid and go, oh, that guy's a kook. Oh, that guy's a liar. Oh, he's discredited. Don't listen to him. The truth is, folks, they're doing everything they can to keep you from getting to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. So email everyone you know about the sites. Tell your friends and family. Share your PrisonPlanet.tv membership with 30, 40 people. You can have 11 people with the same username passcode simultaneously logged on at any one time. And if you log in one day and can't use it because too many people are logged on, go get another membership. Support us. We're doing something bold here, going head on against the globalist, getting past our fear, committing to liberty, and building a platform to launch other people against the globalist. We're doing big things here. And big things have small beginnings, and we've grown to something really big. We intend to get even bigger. We intend to double down. I told you a year ago we were going to go to the next level. We've done it. Now we're going to the next level after that and the next. If God be with us, who can stand against us? Authoritarian control freaks throughout history have sought to make populations dependent. The United Nations openly has talked about using food as a weapon against the third world and the industrialized first world. State Department Memorandum 200, developed by Henry Kissinger, called for destroying the food capacity, not just of the United States, but every country in the world, so they could use food scarcity as a political weapon of control. Just a decade ago, less than 10 million Americans were on food stamps. 4 years ago, it was 25 million. It's now reached almost 50 million. Socialist health care is designed to destroy our health care system. The establishment wants you to be a bunch of cowardly, dumbed-down people who can't stand up for yourselves. That's why they're rushing to try to restrict citizens owning firearms. Because since the early 1990s, gun ownership has gone straight up, while violent crime has gone straight down by 49%. And globalist-controlled strongholds like Chicago and New York, where they've taken the citizens' guns, have the highest crime rates in the world. What am I getting at here? The system doesn't want you to be self-sufficient. That's why I promote the fact that you should go out, buy firearms, and go take lessons and learn how to use them. I want you to stand up for your birthright of liberty and freedom. During a serious meltdown, they're going to tell you, hey, you want food? Turn in your guns. And that's why we need to put the globalists in check. And then finally bring them to checkmate by being self-sufficient, by being prepared, by having a garden, by learning how to can your own foods, by having friends and family and community that will stand together. But at the heart of that is having quality, storable foods. And that's why I went out more than a decade ago and found the very best food company to be my sponsor, eFoods Direct. They're the company that I personally use for my emergency food storage preparation, whether it be for natural disasters or the tyranny that is intensifying. So give them a call, 800-409-5633. That's 800-409-5633. Or efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find the weekly and monthly specials. But they're always running the specials where you can get the free 6 meals and the eFoods Direct audio CD put together by the experts in storable foods to answer all your questions, the eFoods planning guide, the eFoods brochure, the eFoods catalog, plus 6 free meals, creamy potato soup, tortilla soup, and cheesy chicken rice, so you can sample the high-quality storable foods from eFoods Direct. They've got a bunch of other specials.
The 2-week food supply provides one adult with 81 servings of healthy, delicious, storable food for 14 days.
The 1-month food supply provides 192 servings for 28 days.
And then there's the 1-month family food pack. It will change the way you look at the food in your pantry. Every time you eat one of these meals, you are eating healthy, delicious food and saving a lot of money.
The 3-month food supply 576 servings of storable food for 91 days.
And the one-year food supply will provide you with 2,304 servings of healthy, delicious, storable food for 1 full year.
Your meals are as delicious and nutritious tonight as they'll be in 25 years.
Bottom line, there's a bunch of specials at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can also call them at the toll-free number on your screen, and they can send you a catalog with all the specials detailed and tell you about the weekly and monthly specials that they're always running. efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find all the specials or call the toll-free number. And so in closing, when you buy from efoodsdirect.com, you are supporting the radio broadcast, the nightly news, the magazine, the films, and everything we're doing. Because we're not like MSNBC or Media Matters that get government and corporate funding to bring down America and bring in tyranny. We are funded by our sponsors and you, the viewers and listeners that support them. Again, that's efoodsdirect.com/Alex or 800-409-5633. And when you're also visiting Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, you can click on the banners to take you to the weekly and monthly specials. It's like the Hank Williams Jr. song, "A Country Boy Can Survive," because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run because these boys were raised on shotguns. Well, there aren't really a lot of good old boys left anymore, are there? And those that are out there are demonized and are enemy number one by Homeland Security. And good old boys come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. They're people that aren't chumps, who understand that they're going to take care of their family and that nobody else is. They're people that understand that if somebody else is taking care of them, that makes them a slave. And that the government doesn't want you dependent because they want to build a great future for you. They want to get you dependent so they can social engineer us. So the answer is get self-sufficient, become men again, and tell the New World Order to go straight to hell. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com and eFoods Direct, our great sponsor.